Psychetruth. Life, wisdom.
Hey guys, I'm Joyce Scola, and today we're going to be going over a detox yoga flow. But before I get you started, I want us to warm up our shoulders a little bit. We're going to be working those out today. Also, want to let you know a little bit about me. I'm actually also a gymnastics coach. So if any of you are interested in that, like your back walkovers or handstands, just leave a comment below. Let me know if that's stuff that you guys would like to see in the future. All right, now let's bring our shoulders up and down. Shrugging. And then forward and back. Exhaling forward, inhaling up. All right, now that we got those a little warmed up, a little bit loosened, let's go ahead and get started in our flow. We're gonna start at the top of your yoga mat in mountain pose. Here, I want you to be really strong. We are rooting through the feet, the 3 imaginary corners, then we're rising up through the kneecaps, and then pushing the pelvis forward, tucking the ribs, shoulders roll up, back and down, and then arms extended, palms facing forward, and you want your spine nice and long, tucking the chin back slightly. And take 5 deep breaths here. Just really think about rooting from the ground up and reaching the spine as tall as you can. This is a very powerful pose. Makes us feel strong and confident. Great start your day pose, or if you have an interview or anything like that. And on our next inhale, arms up and then sinking down into chair. Keeping those ribs tucked, chest up, tailbone down, and breathe for 5. Every time you inhale, we're lengthening the spine, reaching up, exhaling, sinking just a little bit lower. And then on our next exhale, we're gonna fold forward. I like to grab my elbows here and just really let my neck and shoulders go loose, letting gravity tug on my spine. Since this is our first forward fold of the day, I like to really hold it for 5 breaths. Again, lengthening on the inhales, exhaling to release lower. Then on your next exhale, we're gonna press back into our plank. So starting at the top of our plank, we want to make sure that our feet are about hip distance apart, your wrists are under your shoulders. Then to activate our chaturanga, we're actually going to move forward on our shoulders, then initiate the elbows to lower down, keeping the core nice and engaged. And on your inhale, we're going to pull up. Really make sure that those shoulders are pulled back and down. I'm not cranking my neck up. I'm still keeping my spine nice and long and extended. Now on the next exhale, we're going to push back to our down dog and hold here for 5 breaths. Here you can pedal out your feet. Really stretch those hamstrings. Then we're going to take our right leg up. Extend it back, keeping the hips square. Then we're gonna reach that right foot through between our hands, rolling the back foot down, bringing the arms up for warrior 1. Here we really wanna try and focus on keeping our hips square. So if you have to, go ahead and take that foot out and forward a little bit, which will help you keep your hips in alignment. Again, we're gonna be holding everything for 5 breaths, nice long stretches. We're gonna open our hips to warrior 2. If you need to readjust the arms, quick sweep back down and up. Making sure they stay rooted down towards your spine. We're gonna windmill our arms back down to chaturanga. Again, engaging the shoulders and reaching up. Exhaling back to your down dog. Go ahead and hold for 5 breaths here. Pedaling out, this is totally your time to take a break, get all the air you need. Whenever you're ready, left foot sweeps up, keeping those hips nice and square still. And we're gonna reach it through our hands, rotating that back foot down, arms up, hips staying square. Again, if you need to scoot that foot out and forward a little bit to help with your hips, go for it. Listen to your bodies. Really make sure that you're pulling back on your left hip and pushing forward with your right. Then we're going to open up to warrior 2. Now our hips are facing outward. Sweep the arms up. Really strong in the legs. Make sure that you keep that knee pulling towards your pinky toe. And you don't want to overextend. You don't want to underextend. You just want a nice 90-degree angle. Windmill the arms back down, chaturanga, keeping that core engaged, pulling through, cobra, or up dog, whatever your body is needing at this moment. Exhaling to down dog. We're gonna bend our knees and step or float to the front of our mat. Forward fold. Really releasing the spine here. Come up to flat back. Forward fold. And then arms up to chair. Maybe those ribs tucked. Tailbone down. Chest rising. Squeeze that imaginary ball between your thighs. And then on your next inhale, rise up. And exhale back to mountain. Back in our mountain, we're gonna hold this for 2 full breaths before moving on to our chair pose again. Again, really think about rooting and rising. I know that sounds contradictory, but that's how we get nice and long and stretched out in our bodies. And then we're gonna forward fold. And lift up for chair. Nice and low this time. Body should be a little bit warmed up. Breathing, keeping the core engaged. Then we're gonna bring our hands down to prayer pose. And twist to the left, hooking that elbow on our knee and looking up. Pressing the elbows into our knees. Make sure that your knees stay parallel with each other. You don't want one sticking out past the other. Keep breathing. Then we're gonna go ahead and open our arms to try and look back over our shoulder. We're gonna be focusing on twists today, wringing out the body, getting all those toxins out. Come back to center and twist to the right, pressing that elbow into the knee, knees parallel. I know my legs are burning. Come back to center. Forward fold. Woo. Remember, yoga is about the storm within and the calm without. We may be shaking on the inside, but we want to stay nice and statuesque on the outside. Inhaling for cobra, exhaling to down dog. Okay, taking 5 full deep breaths here in down dog. Really make sure that your shoulders are buried into your spine, letting that head hang nice and loose. You can twist it around. And then you want to pull your hips back and up while pressing your heels to the floor. And then on your next exhale, we're going to push into our plank. Instead of going into our chaturanga this time though, we are actually going to roll our foot onto its side to get into side plank. Here, I'm staying really tight, nice and straight, keeping those ribs tucked, core engaged. You can take your arm up. Taking this nice and slow, we're gonna do some rainbows here. So I'm gonna dip down, inhale to rise up, exhaling to lower down, inhale to rise up. Coming back to center, we're going to take our foot and extend it up. Hold and breathe. Slowly lowering back to side plank, then plank, pushing back to down dog. Oh, nice deep breath. If you want, you can go ahead and take a child's pose here. Just kind of get off your hand, off your arm and your shoulder. Wiggle them out if you need to. Whenever you're ready, pressing back into your down dog, shifting into your side plank, rolling on that right foot to get steady in your side plank. Arm up, exhaling to slowly dip down. Inhale, rise up, exhale, lower down. The slower you do this, the more control you do, the more it's gonna work those muscles. That's what we're shooting for here. Coming back to center, taking that foot, you can grab your big toe between your 2 fingers and pressing up. Lowering back down to your side plank and then to your regular plank, pushing back to down dog where I'm taking a child's pose. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and meet us back in down dog. Here, I'm going to take my left hand and reach it to my right ankle while looking under my right armpit. And breathing for 3 full breaths. Reaching my hand back, taking the right to my left ankle, kind of pulling my body through to look under my arm. Deep breaths. Again, all these twists act as though you are wringing out a wet towel on our muscles and our organs. Then we're going to lower our knees down for tabletop, making sure that our knees are under our hips, just hip distance apart, hands underneath our shoulders. Let's go ahead and hold tabletop for 2 full breaths, again keeping the core nice and tight and engaged. And then on your next inhale, we're going to lower the belly and look up for cow pose. Exhales, rounding up for cat, looking at your belly button. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling, cat. You really want to engage the spine from the bottom up, almost like a wave. Notice that my shoulders are not scrunching up by my ears, I'm still keeping them nice and back, protecting my neck. Back to tabletop. Here again, we're going to hold for a few breaths. We're going to prepare to take up one leg and the opposite arm. So make sure that you're really tight. And here I want nice extension. You want to, as if somebody's pulling you like a Laffy Taffy machine. So on your next inhale, right leg, left arm come up, really reaching, keeping that core tight, breathing. My feet are flexed here. Heel is driving towards the back wall, reaching my fingertips to the wall. And then back together on your exhale. Taking a breath. Same thing other side. Now the left leg comes up, right arm, extending. Trying to keep your hips parallel to the ground still. Shoulders back, we're not scrunching our neck. Looking right at the ground. Knee is facing the floor. Feet are flexed, toes are engaged. And then exhale, back to center. Now we're actually just going to take up the right leg straight out behind you, keeping both hands on the mat. Then we're going to bring it around as if we want to kick ourselves in the face and hold. This one should get the gluteus maximus working. Try and get as high as you can towards your face, keeping it parallel with your hips. Back behind you and back towards the mat. Same thing other side. Left leg comes up. Reach it around the outside, trying to kick yourself in the face. Really engage that glute. Breathing, keeping the core nice and engaged. Same pressure into both of my hands. Back behind you and lower down, back to table. All right, so for our last pose in our tabletop, we're gonna go for half bow, both sides. So I'm gonna raise my right leg up, then my left arm's going to come up, sweep back to grab my foot and pull back and up. Here you can gaze up a little bit, focus on a point to stay nice and balanced. Breathing. Next exhale, slowly lower down. We do not want to collapse out of our poses. What's going to make us strong is fighting the urge to fall. Next, left leg comes up, right leg comes up, sweeps back around to grab the ankle and pull back and up, pressing your foot into your hand. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Staying focused on your drishti, which is your focus point. Next exhale, slowly lower down, back to your table. I know I'm already sweating. How about you guys? All right, so to go ahead and just kind of rebalance our spine, even everything out, let's do a few more cat-cows at your own pace. In to drop the belly, out to rise up. Then we come back to neutral. We're going to drop our elbows to the mat, making sure that our elbows are under the shoulders. We want to keep our hands directly in front of us, parallel to the edges of our mat. We don't want them coming in at all. I want to keep them nice and out. We're gripping the floor. Then I'm going to press up onto my feet and walk my feet in as close as I can. Yay, dolphin. And breathe, keeping the shoulders nice and strong. And hold for 5. Keeping that core engaged. And slowly lower. Here we can take an extended child's pose. Then when we come back to our dolphin, we're going to extend one of our legs and make it a little bit more difficult. If you find that dolphin with both feet on the floor is plenty challenging enough for you, go ahead and stay there. On your next inhale, rise up, walk your feet in as close as you can, then take your right leg up, keeping your hips square, both facing the back wall. Drop your head to look down. You can see your toes. And then slowly exhale to lower, taking a child's pose if need be. And then when you're ready, come back to your elbows. Inhale, press up on the feet, walk in a little bit closer if you can. Next, left leg up on that inhale and breathe. Holding and breathing. My mind says quit. My body says keep going. And slowly lower on your exhale. Reaching into that extended, much needed child's pose. Really reaching the arms out nice and long here. You want to feel the stretch in your sides. Now to me, a yoga pose doesn't have to look like a yoga pose. It could be an ever-moving, ever-evolving form. Looks different on everyone. But I like to rise with my inhales and sink with my exhales. All right, from our child's pose, we're gonna get into an extended puppy dog pose. So what that means is we let our chest come to the floor with our arms extended and our tushes in the air. Breathing here. This one really works the shoulders out. Then whenever you're ready, gonna come back to our tabletop. But now we're going to actually take our right foot and place it along the top edge of our mat. We're gonna scooch our back knee back just a little bit further. Here you can fold your mat over and rest your knee on top, or you can get a blanket or a towel if it's too much on your knee. We want to try and make sure that we're staying centered over our hips here. Now here you can rise up and hold, or you can lay down over your hips. I like to stay rise. I like to stay up on these. This will definitely help with future splits. And when you're ready, we'll lower down. We're gonna reach back to pick that foot up. I'm gonna hook it into my elbow, reach back to grab my hand and look forward. Whew, this is a very intense stretch on the front part of my leg here. So if you need to release a hand, you can. You can also just grab your foot with your hand, twist and look back over your shoulder if you want. Slowly lowering back down. Do not let it spring back towards the floor. Pressing to our plank. Switching legs. Laying my shin just parallel to the front of my mat. Walking my feet back. So I'm on the top or upper part of my knee here. And I like to stay square on my hips. Whew. Feel this one in my T-band. It also helps if you keep your top foot engaged, nice and flexed. It's good to work into the hips. Our hips are the emotional junk drawer of our bodies. When we open them up, we can release all sorts of baggage, unwanted feelings, emotions, thoughts. Reaching back for mermaid. Or again, just holding your foot if you can, wherever you're at. No one person is your learning curve. And slowly lowering down. Reaching that foot back. Then we're going to walk our feet through to come to a nice seated forward fold. First, what I like to do is make sure that I get the flesh from out from underneath me. That helps me to fold forward a little bit more. Also, you want to get that belly in, engage that core, arms up nice and high, and reaching for whatever you can. If it's your knees, if it's your shins, great. But if you're at your feet, wonderful. Try and bring your nose to your shin. Chest first. I don't want to be hunching over. I want to keep a nice straight back, pulling through with my chest and breathing. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to soften. Inhale to rise up. And from our forward fold, we're going to take the left foot over to our right hip, then take our right foot on top of our left leg here over to our left hip. So now kind of got my knee stacked here. Then I'm going to take my left arm up, my right arm back to try and grab my hands. As you can see, I'm not entirely there yet, but I will the more I practice. And hold. Again, we're all about twisting everything, wringing all of our muscles out, shedding all of those toxins, making sure to drink lots of water today. We are going to unwind our arms, untangle our legs, back to our seated forward fold. Then same thing, other side. All right, then we're going to take our right leg underneath to our left hip. And our left leg comes on top over to our right hip. Same thing, now we're switching arms. Right arm comes overhead, left arm reaches behind the back. Ooh, I could touch my fingertips. There we go, that's all you need. If you need a little extra help, you can always roll up a hand towel, or if you have a yoga strap handy to kind of tug on. Or just keep reaching. Just keep reaching, just keep reaching. And we're going to unwind the arms, uncross the legs. All right, then next what we're going to do is take our right leg really close up by that hip. You want to try and get your foot as close to your bum as possible. Then what we're going to do is reach this right arm through on the inside. We're pressing our knee into our shoulder to reach behind. Left arm comes behind the back to clasp. This is called a bind. Then I'm going to sit up as much as possible while squeezing that leg in and looking over to my left. Again, we're squeezing all of the sponges out, wringing out those dirty towels. Spring cleaning for our bodies. Then we're going to slowly release. Again, we're not springs. Then I'm going to rotate to my right, dropping down my left elbow, placing my right hand back behind me for support. I'm going to press my elbow into my knee to twist and look over my right shoulder. Always breathing, always inhaling to rise, exhaling to just get a little bit deeper. Now please take everything I say with a grain of salt. You know your body's better than anybody else. If something doesn't feel right, if something hurts, or you feel a block in your body, back off. Listen to what your body's telling you. And when you're ready, exhaling, bringing the legs back to center. Same thing other side. Left leg comes really close, bringing that heel right up into your hip. I'm going to reach around my knee, bringing my left arm back and clasping behind. Again, pressing my knee into my shoulder, trying to peel my chest open and looking to the right. The binds have always been a tough one for me. Really helps to get the chest open. Then exhaling, slowly bringing yourself out of it. Then raising the arms up and twisting to your left. I'm hooking my right elbow against my left knee. Left hand comes behind me on the mat for support as I press my elbow into my knee to twist and look away. And breathing. Then on your next exhale, coming back to center. Giving another nice forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to fold forward. Evening out the spine. Again, if you're not very flexible in your forward folds, I want you to really focus on keeping that spine straight so we don't hurt the lower back at all. Trying to keep everything really protected. The shoulders are still rolled back and down, exposing the neck, making sure that you don't tweak anything, because that would not be fun. Engaging that core to fold a little bit deeper. Inhale to rise up. Next, I'm going to place my hands behind me to bring my knees up for boat pose. Here, if this is enough of a challenge for you, by all means, stay right here, or you can take your arms here. Oh, I'm already shaking. And then, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, legs straight, you can even kind of pull them in and closer. Come here, come here. Make sure you're breathing, keeping everything really tight. I'm zipping my legs together like you would a jacket. Keeping that core engaged, shoulders back and down. Again, I'm bringing my chest to my shins. I'm not hunching to try and reach. I'm staying nice and tall. And then exhale, lower down, forward folds. All right, so when we rise up from our forward folds, we're just gonna scoot down a little bit so we can lay back. Oh, doesn't that feel nice? Then what we're going to do is take our right knee into our chest. Nice squeeze You can flex your feet here. Wiggle those toes around. Give them a good stretch. And when you're ready, you can take your 2 fingers, wrap it around your big toe, and extend. Whew, this one should definitely be feeling it in your hamstrings. Breathing. Trying to keep this really engaged. And then on our next exhale, we're going to go ahead and switch our hands. So that way I'm now grabbing the outside of my foot with my left hand. And I'm going to take my right arm out to my side like a half T. And we're going to drop my leg. Ooh, go nice and slow here, nice and slow. Ooh, feel every piece of this stretch happening. Now here I'm working to keep both of my shoulders flat on the mat. Whew. And here you want to think about, here on my hip up kind of, you want to think about really extending it and opening it. And there's your IT band. Hello, IT band. How you been? Hello, bodies. Breathing. This one is so intense on my IT band. But the very good and intense. Already, slowly bring that back to center. Bringing the knee down to the chest and lowering. Whew, that leg feels much longer now than my left one does. Let's go ahead and get this even now. So next I'm taking my left knee, squeezing it in, giving it a nice hug, flexing my feet, wiggling those toes. They need a nice stretch too. Then on my next inhale, gripping my toes, my toe with my fingers, and extending. Again, you want to think about rotating inward, squeezing that imaginary ball, keeping everything really extended here. And again, if you need to, if you can't grab your toes, go ahead and grab your ankle, grab your knee, wherever you're at. Listen to your body. I definitely didn't start off being able to do this right away. Then I'm going to switch my hand grip. Left hand comes on the, right hand. Left, right. Right hand comes outside my left foot. Left arm comes out to make a half T. I'm going to slowly lower this leg down. Trust me, you want to feel every bit of this stretch. Whew. Nice and slow. Whew. Breathing. If your shoulders come up, try and adjust. Think about rolling that left hip down to really open the side of your spine. And breathing. My left side is much tighter than my right. Do you guys notice a difference if your left side or your right side is more tight or more open? I find that my right side is usually my more open side. With yoga, we try and find that balance, not overworking the side that's more open and really trying to work extra hard the side that isn't as open. And bending the knee back into your chest, feet together. Oh, now they feel similar. Now I'm going to bring my knees to my chest, give a nice hug. Cancel out those twists. So next we're going to be rolling our legs up into deaf man's pose. So now I'm going to put my knees on either side of my ears, trying to let them drop down. You can kind of give your temples a little squeeze with your knees, if you please. Then I'm going to extend my legs out into plow pose. Here, you can do it two ways. I like to tuck my toes and really drive my heels forward. I feel like that really stretches my spine and it really stretches my hamstrings. Or you can just go tiptoe and really slide forward. Whatever you prefer, whatever your body is craving. Then I'm going to place my hands just underneath my hips for supported candlestick. Trying to get really straight here. It's good to get upside down, get that blood flowing to our minds. Oxygen moving. Takes the strain off of our heart to pump blood to our head. Then we're going to slowly roll out of this. Coming into a happy baby. I'm going to reach my arms inside my knees, outside of my feet, and pull back. And here I can rock around on my spine. Can kind of massage down into my hips. Can even extend all the way out if I want. Again, all of these poses can be ever evolving, ever moving, constantly adjusting. What does your body want? What does it need? What feels good for you? So then, if you are all spent and detoxed out, you can either lay down for your corpse pose, or we can sit up and make our way to plank for just an added little challenge here. I'm going to start in my plank. I always like to adjust my down dogs from plank because then it just really gives me the proper hand and foot placement that I need. Then from here, I'm going to pick up my left hip. This time I'm going to open it and let my left foot pull back behind me. And as you can see, I'm trying to look at my foot under my right arm, keeping the same amount of pressure in my hands. Then I'm going to let that back foot drop as I reach my left arm up. And I really want height here. I really want to bend in my back. This is such a big, explosive pose. Exhaling to reach back over into your down dog. Getting your placement. On your inhale, right leg comes up, opening that right hip, letting that right foot reach back. Keeping the same pressure in both of my hands. Then I'm going to let that right foot drop behind me. Right foot comes overhead and I'm arching. To me, that is just such a powerful pose. And it feels so good on the back and the hips. Back to your down dog. Bringing the knees down. Now we can switch over back to our backs. Back to back. We're going to lay down. Now the proper way to get into corpse pose is not just, oh, I'm here, I'm laying down. We want to make sure that you're pressing your low back into the mat. Your tailbone is forward, extending the legs out, keeping that low back pressing down. I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades down underneath my spine. Then once I feel like I'm all in this, my back is touching, my shoulder blades are touching, then I'm going to slowly let my body release out of it. Then here, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. At the top of your breath, hold it. Seep in just a little bit more air. Hold it and exhale out through the mouth. Every time you inhale, breathing in deep, exhaling to let your muscles just melt into the floor. Slowly letting your breaths even out. Doing a mental check of your whole body. Does anything feel better from when we first started? Just letting the mind settle. If you find that you lose focus easily, just really pay attention to your breath. I like to breathe in peace and exhale happiness. It's just my little mantra that I say to myself as I breathe. Keeps my mind focused. Keeps all of the chores that I have to do today at bay. Again, if you ever find yourself losing focus, just come back to your breath. Inhaling, exhaling, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the eye sockets, unfurrowing the brows, just letting everything melt into the floor. Now please feel free to stay in this as long as you need. But if you are ready to come out, go ahead and slowly start twitching your fingers and your toes, wiggling the wrists and the ankles, elbows, knees. Bring your arms up for a nice overhead stretch. And keeping your eyes closed, you can roll to the right side, taking the fetal position, then pressing with your left hand to sit up, coming to a nice, comfortable seated position. A few deep breaths here. All right, guys, thank you so much for spending that time with me today. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and if you want, leave a comment below if you're interested in some of those gymnastics videos. We can do a lot of fun stretching or conditioning workouts, so be sure to let me know what you're interested in. Again, my name is Joyce Scola. If you want to find out more about me and my practice, you can head over to therootedwing.com. But again, thank you so much for sharing your time today, and I hope it's beautiful out. Namaste.